At dinner, she said 8 months without cheating is a record. I didn't laugh, I left. My name's Daniel, and right now I'm sitting in my car outside a diner, completely stunned. I'm still trying to make sense of what just happened less than half an hour ago. My girlfriend Haley, she's 26, had invited me to dinner with some of her college friends at this downtown spot. There were 5 of us in total. Me, Haley, her roommate Maya, and 2 other women I'd met once or twice before. We'd been together for 8 months, and from my point of view, everything was going smoothly. Haley was smart, charming, funny, and beautiful. Her friends seemed decent too. Nothing unusual, just your typical Friday night get-together. The conversations were casual, stuff about work, weekend plans, and gossip I wasn't really in on. I was mostly focused on my food, just enjoying the vibe and letting them catch up. Then Maya started talking about a coworker of hers who got busted cheating on her boyfriend. She said, "I just don't get habitual cheaters. Like if you want to be with other people, just be single." The rest of the table nodded in agreement. Pretty normal conversation about trust and relationships. Then out of nowhere, Haley laughed and dropped a line that froze the whole table. She said, "This is the longest I've ever gone without cheating, so I guess I'm practically a new person." Silence. 3 full seconds of it. Then a few of her friends nervously chuckled. But I noticed Maya wasn't laughing. In fact, she looked really uneasy. "That's not exactly something to joke about," Maya said quietly. "Oh, come on, lighten up. At least I'm being honest," Haley replied. One of the girls asked, half laughing, "Wait, how long has it been?" 8 months, Haley said with a grin. A personal best. Some of them giggled again, awkwardly. But Maya still looked uncomfortable, and now everyone was starting to look at me. "Daniel looks confused," someone muttered. Suddenly all eyes were on me. Haley was still smiling, but I could see something shift in her expression, just a flicker of panic. "I mean, you knew I had some commitment issues, right, babe?" she said, trying to brush it off. No, we had never talked about any commitment issues. Nothing about cheating. She'd told me her exes were toxic, that things didn't work out, and she was trying to find something stable. Not once did she mention that she'd been unfaithful. "You said your exes were jerks," I replied. "You never said anything about cheating." "I didn't want to get into all the drama," she said with a shrug. The table went quiet again. Maya was staring down at her food. The energy had completely shifted. What started as light-hearted dinner talk now felt tense and strange. "Well, it's not that big of a deal," Haley said, sounding defensive. "Everybody messes up. There's a difference between a mistake and a habit," Maya muttered under her breath. Haley shot her a look. Then she turned to me and said, "Well, now you know, 8 months into a relationship, and I was just now finding out my girlfriend had a pattern of cheating, and that she considered going 8 months without doing so some kind of milestone." The others moved on, probably trying to escape the awkward tension. Haley went back to eating her salad like nothing happened, laughing along with the new conversation. But I just sat there finishing my burger in silence, trying to piece together what I had just learned. The woman sitting next to me, the one I had trusted, was laughing about something that made me sick to my stomach. When the check came, I did something I'd never done before. I pulled out my wallet, calculated my exact portion down to the dollar, placed the cash on the table, and stood up. "Where are you going?" Haley asked. "We were supposed to catch that movie after dinner. You all enjoy," I said, turning toward the door. I didn't make a scene, didn't yell or cause drama. I just walked out. I drove straight home, sat on the couch, and tried to process what had just unfolded. My girlfriend, the one I'd spent the last 8 months with, had apparently cheated in every relationship before me and decided that 8 months of loyalty was worth joking about. Her friends all seemed to know. Some of them laughed. None of them seemed surprised. Either Haley forgot to mention this part of her past, or she deliberately chose not to tell me. Neither answer made me feel any better. Around 9 p.m., my phone buzzed. A message from Haley. "Daniel, what was that about? You embarrassed me in front of everyone." Embarrassed her? By finding out she had a long history of cheating and didn't think it was a big deal, I didn't respond. An hour later, another text. "Are you seriously mad over a joke?" It wasn't that serious. A joke. Her years of cheating were just a punchline now. Still no reply from me. By 11 p.m., she texted again. "Daniel, call me. We need to talk." We really didn't. The next morning I woke up to 6 missed calls and about a dozen unread messages from Haley. All of them carried the same theme: me overreacting, her not meaning anything by it, and how I was making too big a deal out of a joke. But what hit differently was the message from her mom. At 7 a.m. sharp. Daniel, what happened? Haley's been crying and said you just left her at dinner. She's a mess. What did you do? What I did? Her mom clearly didn't know what Haley had shared in front of her friends the night before. I didn't reply. Instead, I stuck to my usual Saturday routine, gym, coffee, a long walk around the block trying to ground myself. I needed to think this through logically, not emotionally. The facts were plain. My girlfriend had a well-documented past of cheating on people she dated. Her friends all knew it. She was proud of staying faithful for 8 months, and she thought all of that was amusing. Around noon, I saw her outside my apartment, through the window. Standing there at the front door, arms crossed, waiting. I opened the door but didn't let her in. Daniel, please. We need to talk. No, we really don't. You're being ridiculous. I was just being honest about my past. Honest? I said, stunned. You hid your cheating history for 8 months. That's not honesty. I didn't hide it. I just didn't think it mattered. You don't think your pattern of cheating on your boyfriends is relevant to a current relationship? She looked at me like I was the crazy one. That kind of detachment was almost eerie. The honesty was actually refreshing, I told her. Because now I know who you are, and I'm done. Done? With what? She asked, her voice catching. With us, this relationship. It's over. Over something I did before we even met? No, over finding out you're a serial cheater who kept that from me for 8 months. I didn't keep it from you. I just didn't bring it up. Same difference, Haley. Everyone has a past, Daniel. Not everyone's past involves consistently betraying people who love them. She shook her head and scoffed. You're being so judgmental. Yep, I'm judging someone for hurting people who trusted her. That's smart, not cruel. So you're just gonna throw this all away? No, you threw it away every relationship before this one. Why would ours be any different? She didn't have an answer, just stood there. Go home, Haley. We're done. Daniel, don't do this.
You did it.
Last night, when you told a table full of people that not cheating on me for 8 months was a personal record, that's who you are. Eventually, she left. I spent the rest of that Saturday in silence. It felt like air slowly returning to a deflated room. No arguing, no chasing apologies, just stillness. Sunday morning, another text, this time from her mom again. Daniel, Haley is heartbroken. She says you ended things because of her past. Are you sure this is what you want? This time I responded. I wanted her mom to know the truth. Mrs. Carter, I wrote. At dinner, Haley told her friends that 8 months with me is the longest she's ever gone without cheating on a boyfriend. She kept her history of infidelity from me the entire time we were together. We're not compatible, she called 5 minutes later. Daniel, sweetheart, I had no idea she had done that. She never told you about her past. No, she always claimed the guys before me were toxic, or things just didn't work out. Nothing about cheating. There was a pause on the other end. She really cares about you. She might care about having a boyfriend, but she wasn't honest about who she really is. People can change. Maybe, but first, they need to admit they've done something wrong. She didn't. She laughed about it, defended it. Not once did she show remorse. A long pause again. What do you mean? She said it like it was no big deal, like it was cute that she hadn't cheated yet. She wasn't apologetic. She was just being herself. There was a soft sigh. Mrs. Carter, I'm sure Haley has a lot of good in her, but I don't date people who think betraying someone's trust is just a quirky personality trait. I understand. I really do. I'm just sorry it turned out this way. I appreciated the honesty. Haley's mom was probably just as blindsided by this as I was, but it didn't change anything. It's been a week since that dinner, and the past few days have been a whirlwind of Haley trying everything under the sun to win me back. Monday, she sent flowers to my office. The card attached read, sorry for the misunderstanding. Like I misheard her proudly announcing her cheating streak like it was something to celebrate. Tuesday, she tried a new angle. Had Maya text me. Daniel, Haley really regrets what happened. She never meant to hurt you, I replied simply. Maya, did Haley cheat on her previous boyfriends? She took a minute, then responded. Well, yeah, exactly. So she meant every word she said at dinner. Wednesday came with a surprise visit. I was at the coffee shop where I usually grab lunch, and guess who just happened to run into me? Daniel, she said, sounding breathless, as if we'd accidentally crossed paths. Can we talk? There's nothing to talk about, Haley. I miss you. You'll get over it. That's cold. Not as cold as finding out your girlfriend sees not cheating as an achievement. I never said I was proud of it. You literally bragged about it. To your friends. Like it was something to toast. I was just being honest about my struggles with commitment. Like it was some kind of medical condition. You made your decision a long time ago about what kind of partner you want to be. I'm just making mine about who I want to date. So what? You're just erasing me from your life. You erased yourself the moment you decided cheating was normal. Thursday, her mom called again. Daniel, Haley says she's going to start counseling. She wants to work on herself. Please don't shut her out completely. That's fine. Good for her. But she's only doing it because I walked away. Not because she genuinely believed she needed to change. Sometimes people need a wake-up call to see clearly. Maybe, but I'm not volunteering to be someone's trial run while they figure out how to be loyal. I'm not signing up for that kind of role. That's very reasonable of you. Friday, Haley made her final move. She called from a number I didn't recognize. I picked up out of curiosity. Daniel, please don't hang up. I know you're angry, but I love you. No, you love having a boyfriend. There's a difference. That's not true. If you really loved me, you would have told me about your past. You wouldn't have waited for me to hear it from your friends. I was scared you'd leave. So your solution was to hide it and hope I never found out. I wasn't lying. You were withholding something you knew would matter to me. That's lying by omission. Everyone hides things in relationships. Not things like that. Please, Daniel, just give me one more chance. Why? What would be different this time? I'm different with you. You said this was your longest streak of not cheating. That means you've never been faithful to anyone longer than 8 months. There was silence. So what happens next time? At month 9 or 12 or 2 years in, more silence. Haley, you've never been in a long-term committed relationship without stepping out. You don't even know if you're capable of it. But I want to try with you, then try with someone else. I hung up. That was the last time we spoke. It's been a month since that night at the diner. Time for the final update. Haley hasn't contacted me again since that last phone call. I did hear through mutual friends that she's been telling people I'm overly sensitive and judgmental, that I ended our relationship because she made a joke about her past. Of course, she conveniently leaves out the part where she hid her entire history of cheating from me, then publicly treated her 8-month streak like she deserved a gold medal. Some people took her side. Mostly the type who believe everyone deserves endless second chances, no matter their past. I'm okay losing those people. The ones who really matter understood my point of view immediately. My best friend Tom summed it up perfectly. Dude, she literally told you she's never been faithful for more than 8 months. What were you supposed to do? Applaud her? Exactly. After all this, I ended up learning even more about Haley's past. Maya actually reached out to me and apologized for not speaking up during dinner. Daniel, I'm sorry for how that night played out. I should have stepped in when Haley started saying those things. It's not your responsibility, I told her. But she went on. She cheated on her high school boyfriend constantly. Then in college, she was seeing one guy and hooked up with his best friend. Her last serious relationship ended because she was secretly dating someone from her job. A lot of us knew. Some of us were always uncomfortable with it. Why didn't you say anything at the table? I've tried before. She just accuses people of judging her and shuts down. There's no point. That explained a lot. Haley wasn't proud of her behavior, but she wasn't sorry for it either. She was defensive, not because she had changed, but because she didn't think it was a big deal. 2 weeks ago, I got one last call from her mom. Daniel, I owe you an apology, she said. After we talked, I sat Haley down and asked her directly about her past. I had no idea she had hurt so many people like that.
It's not your fault, Mrs. Carter.
I raised her to be respectful of commitments. I don't know how she got so far off track. Some people struggle with that. But if she wanted something real, she should have been honest from the start.
You're right. She's looking into therapy now.
Says she wants to figure out why she keeps doing this.
That's good. I hope she means it.
And for what it's worth, I think you handled all of this with more grace than she deserved. That meant something to me, hearing it from her mother. It helped close the chapter. As for me, I'm doing great. The past month has been calm. No anxiety, no wondering whether my girlfriend is where she says she is. No nervous second-guessing about new guy friends or late-night phone calls. No sitting at a table realizing I'm the last one to know who I'm actually dating. Funny enough, I've started seeing someone new. We met at a bookstore. She's kind, upfront, and get this. When we talked about past relationships, she was honest without making it sound like a joke. Wild concept, right? If this entire situation taught me anything, it's this. When someone tells you who they are, don't ignore it.
We'll leave them the first time. Haley made it clear.
She said she struggled with monogamy. Her friends confirmed it. Her dating history backed it up. I just didn't want to believe it because I liked the version of her I thought was real. But sometimes, the best form of closure isn't revenge or confrontation. It's simply not becoming someone's next cautionary tale. Haley wanted to test if she could make it longer than 8 months without cheating. She'll have to try that with someone else. Because to me, faithfulness isn't an accomplishment. It's the bare minimum. Different expectations, different outcomes. Thanks for reading. And remember, trust your gut when someone shows you who they really are.